Fox News alert, a change in American strategy in Iraq. It is expanding. Now U.S. manned Apache helicopters are fighting to stop ISIS from advancing towards the Baghdad airport. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Martin Dempsey, saying ISIS got within just 15 miles of the airport, and GRN correspondent Saud Marani is live in Baghdad with the very latest. Good evening, and tell me what's going on in Baghdad right now.
Good evening. The situation in Baghdad is pretty tense after the latest press releases by General Dempsey about ISIS trying to infiltrate the defenses heading to the Baghdad International Airport. Engaging ISIS targets with Apache helicopter in the vicinity of Bayab probably is engaging some splinter cells in the area supporting the units of ISIS trying to infiltrate the defensive perimeter the government has set. This is the first time the United States announces using helicopter in this battle against ISIS, taking in consideration that ISIS has recently changed their methods of operation. They stopped moving in large convoys and they are using small numbers of vehicles to be transported between locations. According to field officers and some of the Shiite active militias on the battlefield around the airport, they said it's almost secured. Some units of ISIS have been already tried to infiltrate the area, but they were countered by heavy fire and they were defeated. This is under debate by the government and the United States of America.
Saud, thank you. Thank you very much. And a senior U.S. official telling Fox News ISIS is also making other big gains near Baghdad. ISIS seizing a key Iraqi military base in the Anbar province, the gateway to Baghdad. Fox News chief White House correspondent Ed Henry live with the latest. Ed.
Good to see you, Greta. That air base, that military base is in the town of Hit. And as you say, it's on a highway leading to Baghdad. So even as the Pentagon tonight continues to insist that the capital of Iraq is not in jeopardy, the facts on the ground continue to tell a much different story. Those Apache helicopters you were just talking about, they were brought in because of fears that General Dempsey admits now and said yesterday on ABC News that they had about a week or so ago that maybe Baghdad was at least in some jeopardy. They pushed back with the Apache helicopters and other methods, of course. But the bottom line is we're also seeing trouble on the Syrian side of this as well. The city of Kobani continues to be in some jeopardy. It has been for days now. Our own Greg Palkot has been on the ground there along the Syrian-Turkish border, and he says, look, the U.S.-led airstrikes have had some impact in slowing ISIS down, but they're not stopping them. They continue to make gains both on the Syrian side and the Iraqi side of the border. That's big trouble for the president, for the administration, because they've signaled no change in strategy in terms of going beyond airstrikes and potentially sending ground troops. That's something General Dempsey again left the door open to. But Susan Rice, the president's national security advisor, says the president just does not see any benefit to sending ground troops right now, Greta.
Ed, I mean, what's the level of alarm at the White House about this? Because this really is a change in circumstance. I mean, it is getting worse. There are no good signs.
No, there's not at all. And in fact, there's a local Iraqi official today told Bloomberg News, look, this is completely besieged, is how he put it, when talking about Haditha, which is a key city in Anbar. And that gives you an idea that they're under siege. And this local official said, look, Haditha is going to be overrun. And it's important because there's the second largest dam in Iraq is in Haditha. It's going to be overrun within days unless the U.S. does more to help. I mean, obviously, the president's side of this is he's already been trying to help both inside Iraq as well as Syria, but it does not appear that the airstrikes alone are doing the job. We're expecting the Iraqi security forces to be the ground troops. They're not standing up and doing that. On the Syrian side, it's supposed to be the moderate rebels who do the job. They're not fully trained yet, Greta.
Ed, thank you. All right, well, it's no secret. We all know this. ISIS is barbaric. First, ISIS beheading American and British hostages on video, and now ISIS bragging about capturing, selling, and enslaving women and children. And get this, ISIS using religious reasons to justify its horrible treatment of women and children. For more on this, Kevin Barron, executive editor of the news website Defense One, joins us. Nice to have you back. And tell me, so they're now bragging about what they do to women and children.
Right. This is this has been going on for a little while. And the State Department said it a couple of days ago, and there was a Washington Post report on how there are about 1,000, perhaps, of these Christians from the mountain that were taken down, and the State Department says maybe up to 4,000 women and girls who have been abducted by ISIS.
Where are they being kept? Just all over, all over Iraq and Syria, where they are they in one spot essentially?
Well, the reports are that they were then brought back to different ISIS training camps and encampments where they are, and brought in and sold within that group as concubines or wives for the fighters.
How are they justifying this?
Religiously, they're saying that somehow this is permitted under their version of Islam, that fighters are allowed to have concubines so that they can help resist the temptation of women otherwise.
And in terms of, are they killing any of these women, or are they just they're killing them too?
Yeah, there's executions as well of women who resist. There were executions of women who reportedly of women who were believed to not be married just because they didn't have children, and they were resisting as well.
They're putting this, as I understand it, they're also putting some of this, I mean, to have the horror effect on the internet. So it's not, I mean, they're actually, they're bragging about what they're doing to women and children on the internet.
Well, sure, this is a power trip of the worst kind, right? This is the total dehumanization of a population, and this is and a way to show that they can reward their own fighters, and they can do it with impunity as they will, no matter American airstrikes, no matter resistance of the Iraqi government, no matter what the local populations that they're invading and overrunning think. This is total power upon their part to just go into these communities, to the most vulnerable people, the children, the young girls, and do what they will.
Do you see anything receding or anything going in the right direction, or is this growing?
Well, I'm a Pentagon reporter, so I get a lot of Pentagon reports of what's happening, and the number of airstrikes is definitely back on the rise, it seems, every day.
Effective?
Well, effectiveness, it depends. I think you got to give it a little more time to see what's happening, but they're definitely being hit. They were being hit in Kobani. They're being hit more outside of the capital. But the reason that there are more airstrikes is because there are more targets that need to be hit. And
any discussion at the Pentagon behind the closed doors about boots on the ground, that's the only way to do it?
Not that I know.
No one's saying that. No one's mentioning that.
Again, because it's not American boots. Even if you can't get enough Iraqis to fight, if you can't get any of the other countries in the region to do it, I think the most pressing new shift that people are talking about is whether to have a no-fly zone, so that Turkey would be the first to let its boots on the ground come in and help from the other side of Syria. But then you're not talking about fighting ISIS. You're talking about fighting Assad, and that changes everything.
Kevin, thank you.
Yeah.
And joining us, Representative Atlanta Ross Layton. Good evening.
Thank you, Greta. Thanks so much. It's just horrific. Every image that we see, it's just repulsive.
I mean, it is horrific. I mean, I guess, the beheadings was bad enough. I mean, that's just a horrible, and they're threatening another one coming up. But now we're hearing these stories about what they're doing to women and children. When and how does this stop?
And in this, this is the fourth English language digital edition of their barbaric acts, where they put horrific photos so that everybody sees that this is the part of their campaign. And one of the last entries in this magazine, called the Final Chapter or something like that, the Final Crusade, lamentably they publish a letter supposedly written by my constituent, one of the beheaded journalists, Stephen Sotloff, his last letter to his mom, and they say in that publication that just because he was Jewish, that was enough to merit the beheading. And now we see this glorification of sexual slavery, of saying that it's written in Sharia law that men are allowed to take the women, the concubines of the infidels, and they have forced marriage, sexual slavery, and selling girls as young as 8 years old, and they say that that's their right according to their law.
All right, we only have 30 seconds left. What is our obligation or our responsibility, or our duty, if any? Where do we draw the line for us as we watch this?
Well, we have wonderful groups like Human Rights Watch. They just put out a great report about to let people know that this is really happening.
But that tells what happens. But are we supposed to do anything? Are we obligated? Are we supposed to just watch this?
we can't just watch it. We cannot be watching modern-day slavery and beheadings and raping children before our eyes. It's time to take action, and let's get this White House engaged and tell the truth to the American people and the international community. And I think that more people will join us in this fight. This is going on, and these guys are not ashamed of it. They are publicizing it. Let's act, and let's save this generation.
Well, there could be a lot more help. Even like Saudi Arabia could help a lot more, too. I mean, there are a lot of nations that could be helping us on this. But I'm going to take the last word. Congresswoman, thank you very much. And straight ahead,
we got to keep up the fight.
U.S. warplanes in Iraq forced to hold their fire. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs sending a disturbing new warning about ISIS. That's next. And you can't make this one up. Crazy clowns terrifying an American town with machetes. Is it your town? That's coming up. Well, this is like true.